Thierry Geiger, you're leading economist of the World Competitiveness Report by the World Economic Forum. This year you changed the methodology of the report. Why did you do that?
Yeah, it's been 15 years with the old methodology, and there was a need to upgrade and actually change the methodology. Given the situation, there is a new revolution out there, the fourth industrial revolution, bringing a lot of transformation, disruptions. And there's been a great recession, global financial crisis, which prompted also a lot of thinking as to what drive long-term growth. And we spent the last 3 years thinking about these building blocks of long-term growth. And that's how we came up with this new competitiveness index.
There were no dramatic changes in the first ranks of this report. US, Singapore, Germany, Switzerland among the first positions. So you say that one of the main findings is open economies are more competitive. Now we have new trends out in the world economy. We have trade tariffs, trade war, threatening trade wars. Are those trends not reflected yet in the report?
Indeed, we are saying, and we do see that openness is good for competitiveness, but the current tensions and measures being taken are not yet reflected in our results. They are not yet captured in the data. Should this situation prevail or continue, or even escalate, it might translate into lower openness figures in our index. Throughout the index, we measure various aspects of openness beyond trade. And if this trend continues, then you could very well see a deterioration in the overall continuous performance of economies.
Switzerland, as I said, ranks 4th in this year's report, but we have a look at the sub-index of macroeconomic stability. It's only on 36 positions. Could you elaborate on this?
Well, the ranking here is a bit misleading because when you look at the score, which is measured on a 0 to 100 scale, they achieve a score of 99.4, I think, which is so meaning there are yes, there are a few countries above them. But macroeconomic stability is clearly not an issue. Inflation is under control. They get a AAA rating, and they can sell, their bonds at negative interest rates, real interest rate. So there is no big issue there, despite what the rank says. This year, we really try to focus on the score. We have this ideal state that 100 represents, and all the score, all the indicators are measured against this frontier. And on that particular dimension, Switzerland is doing great.
Could you see trends or developments which could endanger Switzerland's 4th position in the WEF competitive report?
Yeah, I mean, there are always dangers, and I think that in Switzerland we're particularly exposed with the initiatives and the referendums. We're always, one referendum away from a potentially very dangerous, very damaging result that could affect one of Switzerland's key strengths: openness, openness to foreign labors as well, obviously. But in education, in regulation, the stability of the regulatory framework is very praised, and they get a lot of credit for that in our results. All these things that could increase the uncertainty around the legal framework or regulatory framework, or hinder the ability to hire foreign laborers, etc., which are key strengths and success factors of Switzerland, are concerning indeed.
Last question. Switzerland made some progress in terms of digitalization. The IMD report from Lausanne showed that this year. Do you see ways or solutions in which Switzerland could even improve more in terms of digitalization?
Yeah, I mean, it's contrary to other countries that are less developed, who embrace the latest technology from the zero. Switzerland has a bit of a legacy. So when it comes to rolling out optical fiber, for example, obviously there is already a strong broadband network with ADSL, for example, and therefore there is less incentive maybe to leapfrog and go straight for optical fiber or immediately switch over. And therefore there is a bit of, in some places in this category, in some indicators, you do see a bit of lagging behind of Switzerland, behind the best of the world, but clearly the Switzerland is on a positive trend. But I think one warning would be is that Switzerland, the government should embrace even more e-government, technology even more. They are not the best in the world there, and if the impulse comes from the government in terms of yes, we need to leapfrog in terms of technology, we would like to see a bit more leadership in terms of in this sector.
Thierry, thanks very much for your time.